Welcome to our final video of the week with limitless trading. We wanted to let you know where we are and what we saw on the trend lines. Again, we had said at 55.78 held. We were risk on to 56.26, risk on to 56.84, 57.75, and just shy of 58.55. Yesterday, we put in a rejection, which was a great short down to 57.75. And as of this close, we closed under 57.75. So does that mean the bull trend is over? Are the bears about to start? In terms of a trend line, we held it. We filled that gap that we had talked about at 720, and we bounced up. Our guys took a great long. It was sort of a quick reaction. We said, hey, if 57.20 hits, our goals are going to come up and hit 57.75. We ran our stop losses, and frankly, we're just going to hold the position into tomorrow. GDP was today. It was okay, but it is downtrending. We have some GDP forecasts for Q4, which are pretty negative. But again, we look at trend lines. As of right now, the uptrend that started on the 14th is still defending. It's defending by a hair. The market is going to have to make a decision. Now, what we want to see is if by Wednesday, Thursday, right, when we have the new tariff talks next week, Tuesday, do we bear trap on Friday and then bull trap on Tuesday and work our way down? If this line at 57.75 turns into rejection for another day, then we're going to come home. We're coming to 56.84, possibly coming down to 56.26 into actually tax season typically is bearish. So what we suspect is if this holds, we're going to crawl all the way up to 58.55 into tax day, right? April might take a little we might get a little bit of a downside on the tariff talks, and then market makers are going to want to retest this trend line, trap some bulls, and then reject and bring it down. Historically speaking, if the market is down for 4 weeks after this drawdown, it tends to reverse. Now, it doesn't mean we go back up. Well, we tend to recover the same amount of weeks downside. So I suspect we're going to keep working this and working this and working this. And then when everybody is tired of shorting, the market's just going to roll over. And again, typically it's the first 1 or 2 days of April are bearish, profit taking after, after all this noise in March, then run into into tax day, which is the 15th, and then roll over till mid-May. But again, level by level, as of right now, this trend line is defending. It did reject 57.75. If we happen to gap up on PCE, then again, we're risk on and off to the races. As long as we're above this trend line, we're bullish. Again, when it becomes resistance, then you start shorting. But again, you're the thing I tell the guys in our Discord, you're shorting oversold. Doesn't mean we can't go down. We could be oversold forever. But this could turn into a double bottom and go up. I know everybody says this is a bear flag, but we don't know until it breaks down. If this breaks down, if this trend line breaks, absolutely, then it's a bear flag. And then what you do on the next retest of 57.75, you take your short and you start working her down 56.84, going to get new liquidity at 56.29, so on and so forth, until a support until we hit a support and it holds. Or if we just keep banging our head against resistance, you keep shorting. On the smaller time frame, we held again. We hit 57.20. We went a little under. We stayed above 57.30. We did reject 57.71, and we rejected from the 58.36. So we are on a downtrend, but we held the gap. If it fails, we're going lower. Again, the micro levels are 56.98 all the way down to 56.50, 56.20, so on and so forth. But if we lose the gap, we're probably coming down pretty hard. The market is going to let us know that if we lose that gap or turn this daily into resistance, then the bears are going to take over. But don't assume that we're bearish until it breaks. Otherwise, if you're taking a put, for example, our puts today paid because we saw that we rejected a support and rejected a resistance, and the support failed. That actually failed all day. We stayed under it, but we didn't close under 57.20. Which is what we were looking at. We said, okay, if we gap and then we break under, it's going to be waterfalls, but it didn't. So if you want more content, please subscribe, like, or email us Discord, and we'd be happy to